Huge XRP adoption is happening. We have two more companies announcing they are buying millions of dollars in XRP to use for Treasury reserve strategy, payments, and much more. I'll share who they are and how much they're buying. And the House in Congress has introduced a new version of the crypto market structure bill. I'll give you the details. And the SEC gives clarity on staking, and they have dropped their lawsuit against Binance. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, huge news. We have two more companies buying XRP. First up is Weebus International Limited. They're going to buy up to $300 million worth of XRP to establish a strategic reserve, develop infrastructure, and accelerate global expansion initiatives. This is huge, and it's been confirmed via a press release. You can see the headline here. Pretty incredible stuff. And let me give you some more details as to what the hell is Weebus. So they are a recognized provider of AI-driven mobility solutions specializing in premium customizable chauffeur services for travelers worldwide. The company is exploring a financing strategy of up to $300 million through a diverse mix of non-equity funding vehicles to establish an XRP reserve for supporting global payment solutions. Huge adoption. As I've been saying for a long time, it will start with Bitcoin and then these folks will move to altcoins. We saw this week Ethereum was used as a treasury reserve asset, and now we have XRP getting adoption. So folks, the other company that's also going to be buying XRP is Hyperscale Data. So Hyperscale Data plans to buy up to $10 million in XRP by the end of 2025 to expand crypto-based financial services via its Alt Capital Group subsidiary. So this is also confirmed via press release. So we now have three companies in the past 24 hours that have announced they are buying XRP. Huge adoption news. So let me give you some details here. So Hyperscale Data today announced its wholly subsidiary Alt Capital Group Incorporated is planning to launch an enterprise-focused XRP lending platform in their third quarter of 2025. The platform, which will initially be a beta version, is expected to be ACG's first decentralized finance application. Huge news. And once again, yesterday, we heard that Vivo Power, they are raising $121 million to launch an XRP treasury strategy. Folks, this is adoption. This is what you want to see as an XRP holder. This should make you very bullish. This is real world adoption. These are companies that are not crypto specific, but they are integrating crypto in one way or the other. So incredible stuff. And I expect this trend to continue. As I've been saying for a long time, it will continue for Bitcoin. Bitcoin will get the majority of the adoption on this front, but we will see more companies do XRP, Ethereum, and look, they could do Solana as well, right? I think these top assets that are highly liquid and are going to be getting ETFs. We know the XRP and Solana ETFs are piling up on the SEC's table, waiting for approval. And that's going to be a game changer, spot ETFs, that is. So really big news here for XRP holders. And here's some more bullish news around Ripple. Ripple's Hidden Road, which they just acquired, launches an OTC crypto swaps in the United States, opening institutional access to cash-settled trades across major digital assets. So Ripple really expanding their footprint, expanding their business in the crypto blockchain space. Many of you know they've also been trying to acquire Circle, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen because Circle did file for its IPO. But nevertheless, Ripple continues to expand with their victory over the SEC. I think the pathway is clear here for takeoff for them as a company, and of course, in getting adoption of XRP and the XRP ledger. Huge news. And folks, a great place you can buy XRP is on Uphold. Uphold has over 300 cryptocurrencies on their platform, Bitcoin and all the top altcoins such as XRP. They have staking rewards for over 19 crypto assets. I've been a user of Uphold since 2018. They're reliable, they're safe. I've never had any problems. And best of all, folks, they are fully reserved. So you can review their transparency report and make sure they have all their assets and everything in place. That's what I love about this platform. Very transparent and once again, 100% reserved. serve. And they have a variety of programs. One of them includes Uphold Rewards, which allows you to earn up to 5.25% on various stablecoins. And part of the rewards program is you can also get 24-hour early access to new tokens that they list. And to participate, you simply have to open the app once per month, deposit $50 once per month, and trade $50 once per month. And the stablecoins they support are Ripple's RLUSD. You can earn up to 5% there. And USBC, you can earn up to 5.25% there. So great program. If you'd like to learn more about Uphold and all its great services, visit the link in the description. Now, folks, today we got a major update coming out of Congress, and specifically in the House. Congressman French Hill introduced the Clarity Act, a bipartisan bill that would establish a regulatory framework for digital assets in the U.S. So this is an updated version of the market structure bill. If you recall, it was called Fit 21, which they passed in 2024 with bipartisan support out of the House. So they continue to work on these bills and fine-tune them, and now they have renamed it to the Clarity Act. And similar to the stablecoin legislation called the Genius Act, that is currently making its way through the Senate. This is going to be making its way through the House. So this is really great. And as President Trump told Congress, get me the bills before the August recess so I can sign them into law. So, folks, I think crypto legislation is going to happen this year. We got a lot of members of Congress on both sides of the aisle who are pro-crypto, and things are moving ahead. We are seeing progress here. So really, really great stuff. Here's what Chris Dixon of A16Z had to say. Today, a bipartisan group of leaders in the House took an important step in introducing crypto market structure legislation, the Clarity Act. This follows the recent progress on sound stablecoin legislation and is crucial for ensuring U.S. leadership in blockchain technologies. The Clarity Act shows a meaningful effort to strike the right balance between laying out appropriate guardrails for the industry while also supporting responsible entrepreneurship and innovation. It signals strong momentum towards smart regulation. We look forward to working with policymakers to ensure strong consumer protections that build public trust while giving entrepreneurs that clarity and level playing field they need to keep innovating. So this is really great, folks. And the industry is working with Congress to make sure this is correct, to make sure the wrong things are not put into these bills and that they're balanced, protect consumers, but also foster innovation. So really great stuff here. Now, Vice President J.D. Vance spoke at the Bitcoin conference today, and one statement really stuck out, and that is, crypto is a hedge against bad policy making from Washington, no matter what party's in control. I love that because he really did not make it partisan there. He said, regardless of who's in control, this is a hedge. And he's absolutely right. We often talk about global liquidity on this podcast and how that it drives asset prices higher. And that is because the debasement of currency is taking place, not just here in the United States, but globally. And that is why assets go higher and higher and higher over the decades and years, right? Yes, individual assets may move at certain pace or outperform others due to revenue and mergers and acquisitions and certain market factors. Don't get me wrong, right? That is, those things are factored in. But the foundational, the rising tide that push all these assets higher is global liquidity. The more they debase, the higher these asset prices go. And that goes for crypto, stocks, real estate, and much more. So that is the thing a lot of people don't understand. And once you understand monetary policy and the fiat system, it makes investing a lot easier. And this is why we diversify our cash and our fiat into assets to outpace the debasement and inflation and to grow it as well. So big statement here from J.D. Vance. And I love that, once again, it's not partisan. He didn't say, just Democrats or just Republicans. No, they both print money, right? That is the one thing we've seen they at least agree on. They agree on raising the debt ceiling. Despite the narratives and the talking points, they all vote for the same crap. Print more money, raise the debt ceiling, and that's the fiat system. All right, moving ahead, David Marcus, who formerly worked at Facebook and Meta, and he was part of the group that was building Meta's Libra token, but that got shut down. He was also a former PayPal president. He was on CNBC today. He said multiple large U.S. banks are about to come onto the Bitcoin network. And I think we see the writing on the wall here, right? ETFs, different financial products for Bitcoin. Just yesterday, we reported on Cantor Fitzgerald launching a Bitcoin lending program. That's a major Wall Street firm. And they're going to do a lot, folks. They're going to custody, like I said, ETFs and other financial products. So this is certainly expected. Okay, moving ahead, we have some very big updates from the SEC. So the SEC's Division of Corporation Finance has clarified that certain proof of stake blockchain staking activities are not securities transactions. The new guidance, following on from March guidance on certain proof of work mining activities, includes self-staking and staking as a service, plus added services like slashing, protection, / custom rewards. Commissioner Hester Peirce was at the Bitcoin conference and she said, providing security is not a security. So what does she mean? When you are staking, you are helping the network to have better security, validating transactions and all that. So that is not a security activity and should not fall under the purview of the SEC. Although scumbag regulator Gary Gensler would disagree, but common sense would tell you that, right? So this is really great. Having this clarity will mean more exchanges and platforms are going to bring staking back. The clarity is there, and that's what these institutions need. And look, you could even see big banks get involved with staking and start offering that to their different clients, and even the big financial firms such as BlackRock and so forth. I wouldn't be surprised if they're getting ready to launch stuff like this because the yield is there and passive rewards are there. So it's really great. So kudos to Hester Peirce and the SEC, Mark Ueda, Paul Atkins doing an amazing job. This is really great. Now, the SEC also dropped its case against Binance. Another big case that's dropped, folks. And the folks at Binance tweeted out, huge win for crypto today. The SEC's case against us is dismissed. Thank you to Chairman Atkins and the Trump team for pushing back against regulation by enforcement. U.S. innovation is back on track, and it's just the beginning. Folks, we keep winning here, and all of this will culminate to higher prices. I know some of you are looking at the price. Oh, why is it down? Look at all this bullish news. Market cycles. Like I said yesterday, look at the Bitcoin chart. It's been telling you which direction we were going in. It was in the overbought zone. It's going to cool down, correct? And then we'll bounce again. You guys, rinse and repeat. You got to understand the on-chain data. You got to understand the charts. You can't just look at news. Positive news does not equate to automatic pump. So please get that out of your head. If someone told you that, they were lying to you and they're not showing you all the aspects of the crypto market. They're not educated about it. So I hope what I'm telling you here helps you to get a better understanding of how to navigate this market. Now, folks, something surprising here. Jack Mallers, who I've disagreed many times on, with regards to different things, he's a Bitcoin maxi. And look, I hold Bitcoin. I don't hate Bitcoin. I believe Bitcoin has its own swim lane. I don't agree with Bitcoin maxis that Bitcoin is the only thing, right? Clearly, it's not. But I got to give Jack credit because his company 21, which is a company that's going to be buying a lot of Bitcoin, said they're going to have proof of reserves. This is really great because what did I tell you either in yesterday's podcast or the day before? Michael Saylor came out against proof of reserves, and I said, that's a bad idea. That's a red flag right there. He's not a true Bitcoiner. So I got to shout out Jack here doing the right thing because Saylor was coming out saying, oh, I don't need to show that, blah, blah, blah. And like I said in my podcast, when I talked about that, Sam Bankman-Fried and Alex Mashinsky of Celsius also did not like proof of reserves, right? This data is on chain. Show it. You don't have to say who the custodian is. You don't have to give your address, your social. That's not what we're asking for. Just show us the wallet address that has the Bitcoin you say you have, unless you don't have it and you have paper Bitcoin. Watch out, right? So red flags coming up with Saylor. And I've been on record saying that Saylor is using extreme leverage here. And we've seen blowups with that type of leverage in the financial markets, right? So a lot of red flags here popping up for Saylor. Just be careful, guys. This is why you want to have a cash out plan because I don't know where he's headed and if he's going to blow up. He might. I don't want that to happen because I think it would be detrimental to the market and the asset class. But, I don't think it's going to kill the technology, clearly, right? Because we've had blowups in TradFi. It doesn't mean the stock market is dead. It doesn't mean the financial markets are dead. But we want to avoid those things. And crypto is still on the rise. And those things set us back. But hopefully nothing bad happens. But we got to keep these guys accountable. We got to say, hey, Sailor, no bullshit, man. If you're a true Bitcoiner, show us the reserves, bro. Unless you got paper Bitcoin, right? Prove us wrong. So shout out to Jack Mallers. Now, speaking of proof of reserves, Tether's CEO Paolo Arduino, who I've had on the podcast a couple of times, he was at the Bitcoin conference and he said Tether has over 100,000 Bitcoin and more than 50 tons of gold. Wow. That's incredible. And as we've been talking about recently, he was on CNBC and he said they're going to have one of the big four accounting firms come in and do an audit. They've already done an audit with a smaller firm, and they do their monthly attestation or quarterly attestation. So they've been transparent, and I've been on record that years ago they were not, and I don't think things were in order. But I think now things are in order. Cantor Fitzgerald has vouched for them. Howard Lutnick has said they have reviewed and audited Tether and made sure they had the reserves. Many folks are still waiting for a big four accounting firm to do this, but they're in talks to get that done. So the Tether FUD is ridiculous at this point. I've been hearing it since I've been here since 2016, and it's kind of ridiculous. No one can show proof, saying Tether doesn't have the funds. I do think Tether has improved their transparency in putting out the attestations. So this is really great that they're being transparent on what they hold and much more. But that's incredible. Over 100,000 Bitcoin, 50 plus tons of gold. That's massive. They also are one of the largest holders of U.S. Treasury T-bills. So incredible stuff here. And finally, European soccer giant Paris Saint-Germain announces they have adopted a Bitcoin treasury reserve. This was announced at the Bitcoin conference. So incredible, folks. We are seeing a global adoption by governments and by corporates to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And yesterday we talked about Pakistan announcing they are launching a strategic Bitcoin reserve. So guys, we are at the tipping point of this mass adoption of Bitcoin and the crypto asset class. Just incredible stuff. And I know some of you, once again, are so very focused on the price. Don't get me wrong. I care about the price. I'm here to make money. But you got to be patient and you got to understand the market cycles. You got to educate yourself. Folks, a great way you can educate yourself is by signing up for my new course at mycryptocourse.com. It teaches you about market cycles and how different blockchains and all these things work. It is a comprehensive course packed with a lot of value. So check that out, mycryptocourse.com. You can also subscribe to my free email newsletter. Join over 6,000 readers. This newsletter is also packed with a lot of value. It includes crypto insights and knowledge. And it's free. So check it out. Link will be in the description. And also check out my book on Amazon, guys. It's available in paperback and digital. Thank you for watching and listening. I appreciate you all. And I'll talk to you all later.